fucking cheaters, I'll kill you. We are throwing chairs at ScreenCheat. This is on John Riccitiello's Dorito engine. It's developed by Samurai Punk. You can check it out at samuraipunk.com/screamcheap.html. It is $15, and what is it? ScreenCheat is an online and offline split-screen multiplayer FPS where everyone is invisible and you have to cheat to win. Remember when looking at your friend's screen in Goldeneye was frowned upon? Well, those days are gone in ScreenCheat. We encourage it. And of course, any chair, or any game that faces the chair position, any chair that faces the game position has to face the chair position. One chair being shit. 2 chairs means that it's... 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. And 4 chairs means that it's astounding. We also have our categories of doom mixed with working shiny sounds, controls, and fun. So let's kick this off into high gear. Then I'll kill you. Does it make with the working?
Well, good thing you've killed me, because now I will not be able to publish your game on Steam. Right.
No! I need money! I'm sorry, Ben. Please donate to me.
We would just like to make a public apology. Linux Gamecast has fired Jordan in hopes of to the point. How does this make with the working on Ubuntu 1404 LTS dual 770 octo core powered box of business? Didn't have any big issues. I mean, it launched, it ran, keyboard, gerbil controls, no issues. But it can be a little flaky. Not all the time. It's genuinely like when you're starting the game with the controller support, but I'll get more into that. But that little nuance right there, I'm going to have to dig it 1 chair for makes for the working, but I'll give it 3 chairs because it's a very solid performer out of the gate, J-Man.
Yeah, I didn't run into any issues. There are a couple issues with controller detection, but I'll get to that in controls, which is the appropriate section for that. Beyond that, the game works. It doesn't do that stupid fucking Unity thing where it tries to take over both of your monitors. Plus, for that, 4 shares.
On what?
Yes, Fedora 20 on my 670 1090T Thuban-powered box of By My Footness here.
Brilliant.
And on the calculator with an i3 370M and a 5650 HD, it worked out of the box. Again, like Jordan said, it didn't do that stupid thing like Unity games like to do where they try to stretch all the way across your monitors. So good on them for that. And also on my work laptop here, which has a i3 4030U and an Intel 4400, it also ran out of the box. No major issues, so 4 chairs.
All right, so that's 3 chairs for mix with the working. Shiny and sounds. Ven, was it shiny? Was it soundy? What's up with that?
Shiny and sounds. Unfortunately, I was subjected to the horribleness of this game yesterday. Horribleness of fun, kind of. Man, it attempts to kind of go, you know, and take a look at it with that N64 aesthetic, with the flat textures and all that. Nothing in there is going to blow your eye pussies out of your brain organ. Sounds, there were sounds. Boom. Shoot. Boom. But the sounds that you're primarily going to hear are the ones of the people playing with you, especially if you're mic'd up and audioed like we are, cussing and screaming, and generally hating each other, trying to figure out what in fuck all is going on. That is really one of the biggest parts of it. But I had a fun time with it. It looked good. The shinies were decent. So, like I said, it's not going to blow your brain organ apart, but we'll give it 3 chairs.
So the aesthetic of this game is fairly weird, but it does so for a logical reason. Levels are typically chopped up into 4 categories: red, purple, pink, and blue. And the idea is because you cannot see where everyone else is and you have to watch their screens, it makes it very easy to sort of figure out where generally they are and their various landmarks and whatnot. It's not supposed to be super complex, but if it were, then the game would be completely unplayable. So again, graphics are very simple, colors are very basic. It's supposed to aid you in figuring out where you are in relation to everyone else.
Campbell's soup.
Campbell's soup. Oh, yeah. The fucking tomato soup. I'm going to hide there. I know where that is. So do I. Blam, blam, blam. I'll get into that in the fun section, though. Visually, it really isn't anything special, though. This game really doesn't derive any value from its appearance, but so I can't give it the full score. It's just kind of meh, so it gets the meh score of 2 chairs. Also, sounds, yes, there are sounds. I can't hear them over me screaming at Sandy or...
Yeah,
Sandy.
the graphics for me on the Mesa drivers, the guns, they have a lot of texture flickering. And since the guns are actually pretty big, they actually take the entire lower quarter of their screen whenever you reload. Yeah, you're looking at the guns sideways, and the flickering is very, very jarring. I know for a fact that this is a Unity thing, and they don't like the open source drivers very much. But on my work laptop...
now that EA is in charge, it'll be all different.
Yeah, but on my work laptop with an Intel HD 4400, it doesn't have the texture flickering, but the shaders don't even work with this one. So for me, 2 chairs.
All right, so that's 2 chairs for Shiny and Sounds. Up next is Control, then.
Control, put yourself in control with this. That's something we decided on last night. Sandman, Ultimo here in the chat realm dynamic, listening along with J-Man. I mean, we're all going to play with controllers because this is supposed to be harkening back to the N64 days, correct? Yeah? Oh, we're trying that.
Except I didn't.
Yeah, except you didn't. We were wondering why you were killing us to death so often at the end of that recording series. It worked. I mean, it was the perfect storm of nope for me, because playing any type of first-person shooter with a controller means you're a horrible person, and you really should build
Sandy.
a log cabin. But I tried it, mixed with... this is how people actually do it, but it doesn't have auto-aim. It's called cheating in the PC world. So it made it stupidly more difficult, and they worked. I didn't have a big issue with the controls, except what I was going to get into, I mentioned earlier, was at the screen, your launch screen. Don't really, it's buried under a bunch of crap right now. But your D-pad wasn't really controlling the things, then... If you move, you clicked on it with your gerbil. Then all of a sudden it was like, hey, I work now. And once that's sorted, it was golden. But out of the box with the controller at first, you're like, oh, this only doesn't completely work. So I can't give it the perfect one. But, you know, for playing FERPs with a controller, it was as painful as I genuinely expected it to be at 3 chairs, J-Man.
Yeah, I had that issue too. Sometimes it'll pick up your controller, sometimes it won't. But it's not something that rebooting your game will fix, because magically your controller will get detected while the game is playing, which if you have it leaning against them, just seriously cock up your aim. One cool thing I want to note about controls is that the hybrid multiplayer is kind of cool, because you can have a mix of people locally and people on the internet, and it doesn't really expose as anything different. Still pretty nifty, I would say. But yeah, no real issues with the controls. They're not perfect. And again, it's first-person shooter controls on a controller. You can only do so much with those. Keyboard and mouse, no issue. Works about the same. So 3 chairs for that. 3 chairs for Control. Pedro, I hear you have some issues though.
Yeah, I didn't
Someone back up
actually...
the ambulance.
I wasn't actually going to, mention the controls, but since you guys brought it up, yeah, this game, I wasn't even going to attempt to play it with a controller, but it showed up a pop-up saying that, oh, we do not recognize which controller you have plugged in. Could you help us set us up? And I'm like, okay, let's try it. So they say, hold A, hold B, all that. So I was going through all of that, and I noticed that in some of the prompts to hold specific buttons, it would not register. It simply wouldn't. I held a button, and then I pressed another button, and
so
it would
didn't
immediately
actually have
change.
a screen that said, is this seriously you're playing with a PS2 DualShock? Seriously? Question mark?
No, It simply outright refused to configure it properly. Now, if I exited out of the game, reset the controller settings, and then used Xbox DRV to emulate the Xbox 360 controller, it would work fine. At least for my testing, I didn't bother with it too much. But with the keyboard, now that's where the real problems start coming along. First, you can't reassign controls. If you're going to make me play on Wazzat while still keeping my left hand on the mouse, you get an automatic 1. And 1 chair for controls. And also, where the hell is the mouse sensitivity slider?
On your mouse?
Yeah, my mouse has 3 settings, but that's it.
What's it give us, J-Man?
All right, so that's 2 chairs for control. And finally, our subjective category, Fun.
Hate this game. Hate it. Loathe it. I played it with 2 Canadians, and trust me, that's not an easy thing for a man to do in any position.
That's way too much Canada.
I see it.
This
game will destroy friendships. This game will cause you to physically want to reach out over the interwebs and punch someone. And Flying Spaghetti Monster help you if they are physically next to you. Because it's all about cheating. And I mean, it hurt my brain organ in a good way. Because it's a gimmick. Granted. Completely a gimmick. But it's a fun gimmick. It's a gimmick that I've not seen before. And you trying to pay attention to what you're doing. We only played it with a 3-player. And once you start realizing, oh, right, you got to pay attention. Make sure you're not hiding anywhere particularly descript, like Campbell's soup. That'll get you killed to death pretty often. The gun selection, I kind of didn't like that with, oh, you get 1 gun. You can't change guns.
Well, you can change guns, but only after you die.
I was getting to that, but, it's a magic thing when I finish a sentence without you interjecting. Didn't like the ability not to change guns during gameplay. It's not my thing. It angers me to the point where I would rage, and Ven rage is not a... It causes things to get broken intentionally, so I try to avoid that. This is not something you want to play while drunk or Irish. Well, that's synonymous. Anyway, love you. Send your hate mail to Pedro at linuxgamecast.com.
It's always me, man. It's always me.
I'm going to give it 2 chairs, kind of a meh, because it's something I knew I wouldn't really enjoy. I'm not part of the N64 era, because I had a computer at that time. If you're into this business, check it out. I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but it's not the good kind of fun for me. It's the rage-inducing fun. So if you're like me, take that with a grain of chainsaw, J-Man.
This is a fantastic party game. I'm serious. If you get like 4, if you have like a bunch of people around, and you want to play a fun game, this is fun. Yeah, it can be a bit smashy at times, but I think that's part and parcel with the genre of games. I would disagree with Ben. This is great for getting drunk or high with your buddies and playing. I certainly had a blast in altered mental states with Ben and Sandy. I will say that 3-man is a complete clusterfuck. Because you can't just pay attention to your screen or one other person's screen. You have to pay attention to everyone's screen. So
Yep.
4-man multiplayer is just a complete clusterfuck. Beyond 3-man, which is a total clusterfuck. 4-man is double complete clusterfuck.
Say clusterfuck one more time.
Clusterfuck! Clusterfuck you and your stupid clusterfucking face. I'll kill you dead! British Gamecast would like to apologize for any deference centered on
L.G.C. cares, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
But yes, very, very, very... I had a blast playing it. I don't know about these fucking heathens, but that's my piece. 3 chairs, for sure. Definitely worth your time if you have some friends around.
Well, let's see. It doesn't let me adjust the mouse sensitivity in the game itself. I have to resort to the hardware controls. Gun textures flicker like crazy, and it's forcing me to play with Wazzat. Well, Wazzat is on the left side of the keyboard, and you have if you're left-handed like me, you have the mouse on the left side of the keyboard too. So you're playing with your hands like this. Not fun. Not fun at all. I would have actually given it 3 chairs if it allowed me to change the controls, but it doesn't, so 1 chair.
And looking at chat realm, Sandy's onto the joke that we were supposed to do this at the top of the review, but apparently we forgot. That's 2 chairs for fun, and if we tally that all up, that is a 2-chair game, but I would be tempted to throw an asterisk on that, because Pedro had some personal problems and
major gripes with it.
Major personal problems, right?
So,
final
thoughts.
So that's 2 chairs for final thoughts.
Yeah,
then
I like it. If you got enough USB ports, this is a great party game. It would definitely be a good party game for your Steam box and to sit around. I like seeing something new, and this delivered that. It was a mind-altering experience of making me want to kill people and getting killed to death a lot. That was also interesting. It's kind of priced to sell. It wasn't too bad. What was the price of it again?
$15.
Yeah, $15. Might wait till you get a 25% off on that business, but then again, I mean, jumping into random YOLO swag Dorito online play with people you don't know, I don't know how enjoyable that's going to be if you can't actually say disparaging remarks about them to their ear organs while you're playing. So keep that in mind. Great game, but not even if you have anger issues. You don't want to mess with this if you think you might want to create anger issues in your life, because this will do it. I think it's going to be huge.
It's a monopoly on Linux. It ends friendships, as Ben says.
Final thoughts?
It is certainly as colorful.
Yeah, like Ben said, yeah, you definitely need to have some friends for this. Rando online matches does not seem like it would be all that fun. I would highly recommend it. It's a bit pricey. I was actually going to buy a 4-pack for a bunch of people I know who I want to play the game with, but I found out Steam doesn't let you actually buy 4-packs if you own a copy of the game. It's sad. Even if you want to gift all 4 copies, it's kind of stupid. I would still recommend it. I would say pay full price, because these guys put some work in their game and they actually spat out a fun game, and that is a problem I've seen with a lot of games lately, is that they're just not good old-fashioned fun. This is good old-fashioned fun. I would say this is I would give it my fair score of 3 chairs. Pedro, last thoughts?
Again, I have nothing against the game in itself. It's just that it's 2014. People should by now know that not everyone plays with the exact same layout. They don't. They just don't. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that, due to a physical deformity,
wave to the lovely people, Pedro.
I have to, play with the directional keys, because since I use the mouse on the left side, I'd rather have my movement keys on the other side of the keyboard, so my hands don't bump into each other. And that's a big problem, because at that point, I'm not having fun. I'm thinking about managing the space and where the hell's my keyboard sitting so I can play the damn game. If they fix that, they get rebindable keys into the game, I will personally go out of my way to recommend this game. Until then, I'm sorry. Nope.
All right. Well, everyone ignore Pedro's opinion because he doesn't